Hello, beautiful people. Thank you so much for tuning in, watching, and listening. This is going to be the September 2022 reading for the zodiac sign of Pisces. As always, my readings are very intuitive, so I'll provide you with any intuitive messages that I receive, as well as the meaning of the tarot cards. I do recommend you check out your sun, moon, and rising just to get a full picture of everything that's going on for you this month. And if you haven't done so already, please do subscribe to my YouTube channel. When you subscribe, that helps me greatly, and you'll be notified when I post new content. I promise I'm not an obnoxious poster. I post once a week at most, typically twice a month. But anyways, with that being said, let's go ahead and jump in and get started. In column number 1, we're going to take a look at what's wrapping up and coming to a close, so last few weeks or month. Column number 2, we're going to take a look at just in general what is coming for the month of September. We're going to do a money column, a love column, and in the 5th and final column, we're going to do a message from our future self or spirit guides. We're also going to do 3 yes or no questions, Pisces. We're going to take a look at your crystal of the month and pull a healing note. Well, let's go and jump in. We're going to pull a summary card for this first column, which is again what's wrapping up and coming to a close for you. We have the card Shift. Shift is an interesting card, and it truly is just a shift in thought, a shift in behavior, some sort of change that's happened in these last few weeks. The nice thing about the Shift card that I think the most is just because you once thought one way or felt one way or actioned one way, it's okay to change your mind. It is okay to shift with our Shift card here. But let's take a look and see what messages we've got coming through here, Pisces. The first card we have is the 5 of Wands. The 5 of Wands is a card of rivalry, challenges, obstacles. I always refer to these as small bumps in the road. So again, it is like little conflicts. But if you look at the card, they're fighting with wands. They're not fighting with swords. So it's again those small bumps in the road. But likely some conflict these last few weeks or month. The next card that we have is the 7 of Swords. The 7 of Swords is a card of theft, betrayal, dishonesty. And this is you on the card, picking up your swords and wanting to move away from it. You're wanting to get away from this conflict. This very well could be the shift, is shifting away from this energy. And I would say that the 7 of Swords, what we just defined, that theft, betrayal, dishonesty, could likely be what's driving the 5 of Wands as well. And at the bottom here, we have the Knight of Swords. If you take a peek at this card, both the horse and rider are moving very quickly. And again, this is a card of shift. This is a card of a lifestyle change. This is a change coming in and coming in quickly. But it's like whatever these events were that happened, these bumps in the road, these conflicts have driven us to change. Let's see what other messages I can give you here. The first card that we have is the 4 of Wands. The 4 of Wands is a card of celebration. It's family and friends as well, so these conflicts could have been with a family or a friend. But the nice thing is there is success or celebration associated with the 4 of Wands. If you look at this, it almost looks like a finish line, and it's crossing the finish line. And perhaps the finish line was just leaving or moving on from the situation. But it does feel like there's some sense of resolution or, again, crossing the finish line here. The next card that we have is the Tower card. The Tower card we refer to as Tower moments. This is unwanted change. You didn't want to move away from this relationship. You didn't want the theft, the dishonesty, the betrayal, whatever it may be. But sometimes things with the Tower just happen. And one thing to keep in mind when we have Tower moments or we have things that come up that we didn't want them to happen, they are pushing us in the direction that we need to go in. So you have to remind yourself with the Tower card, it's something that had to happen. You needed that direction or that guidance or that push one way or the other. And then at the bottom here, we have the Ace of Swords. The Ace of Swords, anytime we have an ace card, is a card of newness. With this card is specifically new ideas or mental clarity. It can indicate new conflict, which I think we've already identified there was some conflict. It's like you have clarity on the situation now, and that's what's causing this shift or this change with the Knight of Swords and our Shift card. Now, Pisces, let's go and take a look at our next column, which is just general what's coming for September. We have the card Listen. I always like this. It's easier sometimes to talk than it is to listen, but this is about giving a caring, compassionate, meaningful listening ear when needed. So listening is going to be especially important as you go into September. So just kind of keep that in the back of your mind that listening is going to be meaningful. The first card that we have in this column is the Page of Wands. The Page of Wands indicates a very active person. This is going to be you. I think you're going to be pretty busy, but you're going to be working on something new. The Page of Wands is a new project, new creative idea, and then you're the active person behind that new creative idea. So something new on the horizon and something that you're going to be taking a very active role in. The next card that we have is the Seven of Wands. The Seven of Wands is a card of self-defense, protecting yourself against competition. I'm going to connect this back to the Listen card because that's what I'm being told to do. You may be feeling different than what is actually happening, and that could be why listening is important. You could feel like you're defending yourself, but you may not be. So look for context, look for clarity. Try not to make assumptions this month. I'm not saying that you do that, Pisces. I'm just giving you the warning or the heads up. Try not to jump to an assumption. Like you could be feeling that you're defending yourself or feeling that there's competition, but if you listen and understand the full scenario, that may not be the case. And then at the bottom here, we have the Queen of Swords. The Queen of Swords is very self-sufficient and very honest. Again, communication is key this month, but specifically listening more than anything. There needs to be honesty. There needs to be truth. You need to listen for those things this month. Let's clarify out this column though and see what other messages I can give you. The first card that we have is the Six of Pentacles. The Six of Pentacles is a card of giving or receiving help. It's very generous. With this Page of Wands, this new action, you could be in a position where you're going to be helping people. Again, I'm not sure the full details of what this new project or creative idea is, but it feels like it's benefiting other people, which is a good feeling. It's putting you in a generous position. It's putting you in a supporting position. It's putting you in a caring position. The next card that we have is the Ace of Wands. And again, anytime we have an ace card, it's a card of newness. And this is the new project, the new inspiration, the new urge to create. This pairs so well with the Page of Wands, but there is something new there for you. And perhaps with this new, there will be less where you need to defend yourself. Again, listening is the key with the defending yourself there. And then at the bottom here, we have the Eight of Pentacles. The Eight of Pentacles is a card of mastering your craft, enjoying your employment. Whatever this new thing is, you're excited about and you're going to enjoy, which is nice to see, Pisces. Sometimes we go through life and we're doing things that we don't love or we're not passionate about. The other thing with the Eight of Pentacles, that when I see this card, it's like you're reaping the benefits of your hard work. So you've worked hard and now you are benefiting because of your hard work, so keep that in mind. The next column we're going to take a look at is anything related to money. So think job, career, finances, businesses you run, investments you have, really whatever you think of when you think of money, Pisces. The first card we have is the Four of Cups. The Four of Cups is a card of apathy or a card of feeling unfulfilled. The other meaning of this, though, is surprise gifts, and that's what that fourth bonus card is. And I feel like for a lot of you, this is both. Like, maybe you're not loving your job right now. Maybe you're not loving the project you're working on. But it does seem like there's going to be some sort of surprise gift here. Promotion, pay raise, spot bonus, some sort of surprise gift there. It could even be like a gift card or paid dinner or something of that sort. But I feel like there's going to be a gift that's given that's going to make things a little bit sweeter. I'm not saying it's going to make you love it or it won't necessarily fulfill you, but it's kind of sweetening the pot. The next card that we have is the Page of Pentacles. The Page of Pentacles is patient. It's all about patience. So this is something you've been waiting for a while, but it does seem like there's new job, raise, promotion, money news. You have actually 3 cards in a row that are saying that. Money, money, money. I like to see that. At the bottom here, we have the Nine of Pentacles. The Nine of Pentacles is, again, is that money card, that luxury, self-sufficiency, financial gain. So again, money, money, money in all of 3 of your money column cards. Let's clarify though and see what other messages I can give you. We have the High Priestess. The High Priestess is a very spiritual card. When I see this card when I'm reading for people, it's like you're on a spiritual level. You're on an intuitive level. This is about trusting yourself, trusting your gut, using your intuition. There are things that you can be doing that will help feel less apathy, help you feel less fulfilled. It's like you know what you need to do, so trust your intuition to kind of move some of those feelings forward for you. The next card that we have is the Queen of Wands. The Queen of Wands is very confident, very self-assured. You kind of need to walk into every situation and not be cocky, but like know that you know it and be very confident in yourself, Pisces, and confident in your abilities. Especially as you take on this new money or this new job role or this promotion, you need to own it. Be self-assured, be confident. And at the bottom here, we have the Moon card. The Moon card is, again, a card of trusting your intuition. I'm really not exactly sure why this keeps coming up, but the message here multiple times has been trust your intuition. So by definitely trust your intuition as you move forward. And some of you too, this could be, I like to explain the moon as like the curve in the road that we didn't expect. Like, I don't know that any of you were expecting this pay raise or this promotion. It was kind of like a curve in the road, but these curves in the road can be positive too. In this case, it's leading you to more money. So continue to navigate it wisely. But it's like you're in the position of feeling like unfulfilled, not necessarily anticipating a promotion or anything of the sort. So embrace this really positive turn in the road here. Now let's take a look at our next column, which is anything related to love. So think family, friends, relationship, children, whatever you associate with love. I do want to call out here these first 2 cards coming in as sword. The sword energy is pretty strong. These are air signs, and swords are very intellectual type energy. But taking a look at the top here, we have the 8 of Swords. The 8 of Swords is a card of self-imposed restriction. If you take a look at this person, they're blindfolded, their arms are bound down, but all these swords are stuck into the ground behind them. So this person can very easily like wiggle themselves back and cut themselves free. So I do feel like you're possibly limiting yourself in terms of love, friendship, you name it, whatever again you're associating with love here, Pisces. You're almost kind of holding yourself back. I'm also getting a little bit of isolation. That can be a meaning with the 8 of Swords as a card of isolation. You may just need some time for yourself this month, and that's okay too. Of course, we're going to clarify that 8 of Swords. We also have the 10 of Swords. The 10 of Swords is a card of low feelings. You look at this dark background, this person's laying down and all of these swords are stuck into them. So it's kind of like a feeling that you're at the bottom. But again, you have the ability to get yourself away from these feelings or get yourself away from this bottom or these low feelings. So do think about that and be thinking about ways that you can move yourself forward because you definitely want to do that. Whatever this is, I'm getting the message, Pisces, that this is something you can correct for yourself. We also have the Death card. I always like to point out that the Death card does not actually mean death. It does indicate big changes, endings, time to move on. I feel like there's something that you need to move on from and you need to transform from this. We need to move on and transform from this place of low feelings. But again, this is something that you have to unlock in order for this transformation to come into play. Looking at our clarifying cards, for those of you who watch my readings, I always love when this happens, maybe not so much with the 8 of Swords, but I love when we get the same card on top of each other. In this case, you have double 8 of Swords. This is like the universe or the world saying, I said what I meant. So keep this in mind. You need to somehow unlock yourself or enable yourself to move forward. Also, don't hesitate to take that time for yourself as needed. The next card we have is the 9 of Pentacles. The 9 of Pentacles is typically a money card, but it does also have the meaning of solo pleasures and being self-sufficient. So this is about you and taking the you time. So you do have some you cards in here. if you like just need a break, if you need a day to yourself, whatever it may be, I would definitely say to take the you time. You need like time to process and unpack what's going on and move forward here, Pisces. At the bottom, we have the Six of Cups. The Six of Cups is a very nostalgic card. It's a card of reflection. I feel like you need to reflect on some events that happen again so we can unpack these feelings and figure out how we can move forward with the Death card. Now at this time, we're going to take a look at our fifth and final column, which is a message from your future self or spirit guides. We have the card Preservation. Preservation can go both ways. Sometimes this is a reminder to preserve your time and energy, space, words, money, you name it. And other times preservation is that it's the opposite. You have preserved yourself so much that you're not letting anything in, opportunities, feelings, love. So you kind of need to think about this, Pisces, and see what side of the spectrum you're falling on so you can kind of act accordingly there. But let's see what messages come through here. The first card that we have is the Nine of Wands. The Nine of Wands is a card of keeping and maintaining boundaries. You take a look at this person and they didn't build a wall, but they built a fence, and with this fence, they're filtering in the things that they want and filtering out everything. But again, have we built the fence too tight, or have we built the fence too open? Are our boundaries too much, or are they too little? So again, we need to assess and act accordingly here, Pisces. Potentially some of you could be blocking out love. I want to point that out. Again, we could be really like have our walls up because of past things, or we could be too open. And either of those could be preventing us. I don't want to say expectations too high, but if our wall is up, then we can't really have new love come in. And if we have no wall at all, you're going to get crappy love. I hate to say it, but you can't just open yourself to anybody either. And then at the bottom here, we have the Emperor. The Emperor is a card of respect, and this is about respecting yourself. Again, you need to find this fine balance of being too open and being too closed. Find something that feels good for you and respects you. This is going to be very important future focus to move forward. This is like strategic. This is long-term, finding this balance of open and closedness. The first clarifier we have is the Seven of Swords. The Seven of Swords is a card of theft, betrayal, dishonesty. I do, again, think that there was something that drove this. Like, we don't just build the wall for no reason. Or the opposite, we tear down the wall. There's a reason either way, whichever side of the spectrum you're falling on, Pisces. But this is more so validation. It's like, you didn't get here. We are the product of our environment. So there's something driving this. But again, it's unpacking and processing those feelings in order to make sure we have that fine balance. The next card we have is the Hermit. The Hermit is a card of going within for clarity. If you take a look at this light in the lantern, that's the light that's within you. And this is, again, making sure that you're doing what feels good for you. Are you too locked down, or are you too opened up? And then we have the Lover's card again, so another repeat card here. Again, I feel like this has a pretty significant impact on your love life. So do keep that in mind as we assess these boundaries or add expectations, whatever it may be. Now, Pisces, at this time, I'm going to give you the opportunity to ask 3 yes or no questions. We're going to use the Gypsy Witch fortune telling deck. If you don't have 3 questions in mind, you can pause the video and think of them really quickly. But for question number 1, we have the Jack of Hearts. This is the number 22 card. That is going to be a yes. Question number 2 is the King of Clubs. This is number 50 card. That's going to be a yes. And question number 3, we have the 10 of Hearts. This is number 7 card. That's also a yes. So yes, yes, yes across the board for you today, Pisces. We're also going to pull a card from our Healing Stones deck. This is a crystal to keep with you through the month of September. Our crystal is carnelian, which is good for urging you for discovery. It's vitality, it's courage. It helps you overcome everyday challenges with ease. And last but not least, we're going to pull a card from our Healing Notes deck. Your healing note says, happiness can be found even in the darkest of times, if only one remembers to turn on the light. Thank you so much, Pisces, for tuning in, watching, and listening. Please do like, comment, subscribe. Let me know how this video resonates with you. Again, subscriptions help me greatly. That's how I grow my channel and get my name out there. So please subscribe if you have not already. Also, if you feel inclined, I did include my Venmo in the comments box if you would like to make a donation. But thank you so much, Pisces, and I hope that you have a wonderful September.